山本由伸選手が素晴らしい投球を見せました。6回無失点、9奪三振、完璧でしたね。本日はポストゲームショート MLB 公式で大谷選手について話されていましたので、そちらの動画をご覧ください。
I mean, there are a couple big moments in this game. I think it started, though, with Yoshinobu Yamamoto. His performance, how would you describe how he dominated on the mound today?
Yeah, he's unreal. He's been unreal all year. A couple of huge strikeouts. The crowd got into it. It was really exciting, and he's just been dominant. That's kind of what we expect at this point.
And then the offense follow. You crushed that ball there. Going up against Boyd, just what adjustments did you make just to get that swing?
Yeah, he did a good job of keeping us off balance all game. Not really giving us too much to hit and just making pitches. And, we were just kind of trying to scrap together at bats against him. Taylor did a good job getting it started, and he left one over the plate for me.
You've talked about how the focus for you, it has not been the power, but we've obviously been seeing it with your at bats. What do you attribute, though, just to that?
I think it's just having a better swing. I talk about it all the time, but I think it's all just comes back to the work in the cage, and then once it comes time to the game, just being able to trust that swing and trust what I've done to prepare, and just having a good idea of what I'm trying to do at the plate with each pitcher.
With this game, and we know how the road trip went, it was a tough one, but when you guys see a game like this where it's the pitching that's excellent, the offense, the defense, how good does it feel to come back home to play just a complete baseball game?
Yeah, it feels good. Great environment here. Everybody was excited for Freddie's bobblehead, I'm sure. But yeah, just good to be back in LA, and like you're saying, we can win in a lot of ways, and just looking forward to winning some more games this year.
All right, Tommy, congratulations on this win today.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
What a great night for Tommy Edman and the Dodgers. And really in that sixth inning, Jerry, Tommy Edman owns that inning. Top half making a really nice defensive play, and then the bottom half with that 3-run homer.
Well, he's a complete ball player. I mean, you could put him anywhere on the field. We've seen him play center field. We saw him play shortstop last night in the World Series. Obviously at second base, he's won a Gold Glove in the past. But look at this play. Outstanding body control to make that play. Great job. Now, this is cued. Nomar, you understand, especially with the lip there in play, able to make the play. Outstanding job getting to the ball and finishing off the play on the defensive end. And Nomar, your called shot, doing his thing.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that one, as you mentioned, when it has that, the ball has that English and still staying with it on the defensive side. But then I think he was just saying, he goes, he gave me a pitch over the middle, over the plate that he can handle. But I think at the same time, Tommy Edman was making adjustments.
Yeah.
He had rolled over a couple of times to the shortstop and a couple of bats prior to that. Knew that he's throwing that slider, knew he's throwing some off speed, and it looked like he was like, okay, I need to stay back. It's almost rather, sometimes you can go, I look off speed and adjust fastball. Looked like early on he's like, listen, I know I got to stay back on an off speed pitch. He does that and puts a great swing on it.
I was at the gym earlier, and I was talking to a former football player. He's become a Dodger fan, and he talked about Tommy Edman. He goes, this guy doesn't look like he's 6'3". No, he's about 5'11", 6 feet. The reason why he's got so much pop, he creates backspin. He doesn't have that uppercut swing. You saw it on that swing there. That pitch was down. He's able to really get through the ball and create backspin, and that's why that ball is able to jump off his bat and carry an extra, 35, 50 feet, because he creates backspin. Outstanding swing.
Well, that 3-run shot is all the offense the Dodgers would need tonight, because Yoshinobu Yamamoto was absolutely outstanding for 6 innings, and right now he's inside the media room talking with Kirsten and the rest of the media.
今日、無失点で抑えて、全ての球種を使って抑えて、ロサンゼルスに戻ってきたいいピッチングができたということはご自分でどう評価されますか？
戻ってきてまた一発目の、試合だったので、いい勝ち方ができたと思いますし、自分自身立ち上がりから、リズムよく投げられたのが良かったかなと思います。
今日、全球種持たれている全球種を使ったと思うんですけども、それの理由としては全てやっぱり感覚が良かったからということでしょうか？
そうですね、なんていうんだろう、たまたま全球種を使うピッチングになったという感じではあるんですけど、すごく幅のあるピッチングといいますか、なんていうんだろう、いい配球だったかなと。またそこに自信を持って投げていけたのが良かったかなと思います。
今年スプリットの、使っている率っていうのが高いんですけど、やっぱそれは感覚がいいということですか？
そうですね、去年も、スプリットがサインとして出るのはもちろんあったんですけど、それを決めれずカウントが悪くなって、仕方なくストレートっていうのがちょっと多かったので、今年は すごくこうコントロールして投げれてるので、それがつながってるかなとは思います。
今日トミが、攻守ともに活躍したんですけども、そこに関してはどう思いますか？
もう本当にいつも、素晴らしいプレーをしてて、もう本当にこう驚くことばかりですが、今日も、守備の面でもすごく助けられましたし、また6回のいい場面でも、ホームランが出て、本当に最高なチームメイトだなと思ってます。
最後タッカー選手投げた時にも100球を超えてたんですけども、その辺の自信っていうのはまだ球数の後に自信っていうのはまだあったんでしょうか？
そうですね、今日は特に、球数は今までで今シーズンの中で一番多かったですけど、体感的には、すごくこうなんて言うんだろう、疲労感があまり残りすぎず、いい力感で、投げられたかなと思います。
Thanks, Hero. Yeah, his execution was outstanding all night long. Yoshinobu Yamamoto for 6 innings. And I think we were a little surprised that he threw that many pitches, Nomar, because he was in cruise control all night long with the exception of those back-to-back base hits he gave up. It never seemed like he was in any kind of high-stress situation.
You're exactly right. And then, not all 100 pitches are the same, right? And you're right. It looked like his pitch count got up there rather quickly. But there's a little bit difference about seeing that pitch count get up there and how stressful those innings were. And it seemed like he was in command. It almost seemed like some of those pitches, it was just a matter of like, okay, I'm going to set some up, or I'm almost getting a feel. But even if I got to a three count on the batter, he still seemed in control. That one that we saw against Dansby Swanson, gets behind 3-1, and then he just throws 2 nasty pitches that end up striking him out. Like, almost there was a calmness like, oh no, I still got this. I know I still have stuff in the bag in order to get these outs, and that's exactly what he did. So, yeah, we were looking at it and we were shocked, like, man, the amount of his pitch count was high at that point, but we're like, but it's still not all pitch counts being high they're all different, and today he was in full control.
And sometimes when you have that high strikeout total there, 9 strikeouts in 6 innings, you're going to have a higher pitch count. But I love the fact he used all his pitches, and he added some pitches. I mean, we saw the sinker tonight. He got to 3-0 to Dansby Swanson, comes right back to 3-2, and throws a devastating sinker to wipe him out. And then obviously the last pitch he threw to Tucker, who's been red hot, was absolutely filthy, either split or cutter. But we're seeing his outing right now. Look at the movement on these pitches. This is a dart. At 97 at the knees, outstanding late life with that splitter. It looks like a fastball, but that's the thing. And Nomar, you've talked about this all the time. When you're spotting that fastball at the knees, you have to honor that pitch, and that's why you saw a lot of swing and miss on the split.
This is the guy we heard a lot about in Japan, Jerry, that's got that pinpoint command. What we've seen in his first 4 starts this year, it's like he's just dotting the corners or the bottom of the zone whenever he wants.
It is so fun to watch because obviously we knew he was very accomplished coming out of Japan. But when I saw the video before he got here last year, I was like, and I told John this guy dots up, down, in and out with that fastball, and then he wipes him out with that split. I go, he's going to have a lot of success here at the big league level. We saw it last year, and he's getting better and better. Oh, by the way, he hasn't entered his prime yet. He's still young. He's going to continue to get better. Fun to watch.
All right, Dodgers get the win. 3-0 shutout victory over the Chicago Cubs. Let's head upstairs.
MLB タイムズ。
Ballpark Cayman's turned on as Chavez Ravine, the Los Angeles Dodgers, off to a pretty good start so far this year. They went on the road, took a couple lumps against the Washington Nationals. They avoided a sweep by scoring a bunch of runs in the last 4 innings. Cubs in town. Matthew Boyd's been terrific for them facing Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Folks want to know, when is Ohtani going to pitch? This has been a major topic out in L.A. So Dave Roberts had to address the media and said this.
Our training staff talks to him weekly about where he's at and the plan going forward. To be quite frank, it's a pitching coach, doctor, trainer decision on when Shohei advances to using the split or the breaking ball. So right now I'm just not aware of when that time is. I think he's actually in a good place. And I think that he understands that the goal is to make sure that he is firing on all cylinders, towards the end of the season through October. So we're in lockstep. So I don't think there's any kind of angst or anxiety or frustration from Shohei in that sense at all.
All right, so Dave Roberts talking about Shohei Ohtani when we're going to see him on the mound again. Dan, when do you expect to see him on the mound again?
When he decides he's ready to pitch. I don't know when that'll be. This is the issue that I think the Dodgers are going to run into. He's so important to their lineup. You can't send him down on a rehab for a couple of weeks and have him go down there and make 4 or 5 starts. So he's going to do all his rehabbing and game prep throwing simulated games at Dodger Stadium. They can ill afford not to have him in the lineup, to have him, if he's going to pitch Tuesday in Oklahoma City, fly him Monday, he'll pitch Tuesday, he'll be back on Wednesday. They're going to miss him.
That is wild. What you're talking about.
They're going to miss him for 3 days.
We've never seen a pitcher have to deal with what he's dealing with.
Right.
He's the most important bat in the lineup, so they can't send him down to the minor leagues. When do you expect to see him pitch?
Similar to what Dan said. But I look at it this way. They're talking about July now. Once he didn't pitch in Japan, what's the next big date on the calendar? All-Star game? He's not doing that. After that, it's postseason. That's it. The only thing that matters is winning the title. And I think that's getting Shohei ready for the title. Now, it's coming to the simulated games. The Dodgers have been the best team I think I've ever seen in using their extra men for simulated games. So those guys hit. You wonder how the bench production continues to be productive? Because they have so many pitchers that have to get work that they hit off their starting pitchers. So Shohei's not going to go down. He'll get more out of pitching to the Dodger extra men than he will driving to San Bernardino or wherever their A-ball team is this year and throwing a game there and coming back that night. So I don't think that would happen. Although I just gave myself a great idea. What if they have a day game? He goes and pitches and comes back and hits. I was thinking the same thing.
That makes sense.
This is the issue that I see with that, being a former pitcher.
There you go.
It is hard to replicate that feeling that you get when you go out to warm up, right? There's a certain amount of butterflies. There's an anxiety that leads to getting into that extra gear. There are a lot of pitchers that will go out and throw a bullpen or throw in a simulated game at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But they will all tell you that it's completely different 5 days from now when you make that appearance in Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, but those are pitchers that didn't just have an at-bat with the bases loaded in the 9th inning facing the closer throwing 100 miles an hour.
He hasn't.
He's a different animal.
Greg, he's a different player. We've seen nothing like him. But I'm telling you, it is going to be very difficult for him. I don't care how many simulated games that he throws.
You think he has butterflies?
Absolutely.
I think there's a new definition.
Absolutely he does. Especially coming back from an injury where you really don't know. I'm telling you, you could throw a simulated game. When you're coming back from an injury, there's just a teeny little bit that you're holding back. You're holding back. You're pushing.
Slightly worried.
You're holding back because, like, you don't have that adrenaline that kicks in, right? You could hit in a simulated game and go, hey, we want to see you run the first base, but you hit one at 7:05. You're getting out of that box, and that first step is you're going.
That's why they'll have new Shohei rules. At 1:05, he'll be in San Bernardino in a Cal League game. Yeah. At 7:05, he just flew the helicopter back to L.A. to play the Dodgers that night. I think we're going to see something we've never seen before. Now that I think about it, why not? Why wouldn't you? You wouldn't move your A-ball game up knowing I got Shohei in these.
Bottom line, it can make sense to you, it can make sense to the Dodgers. All that matters is if it makes sense to Shohei.
That's all that matters.
He's not doing it unless it makes sense to him, and he wants to do it. So we wanted you to get interacting with us. How do you think this is going to go down? How should Ohtani be used as a pitcher when he's ready to make his return to the mound?
I think, Greg, you need to address that with hold it. You think he's going to the bullpen? Somebody thinks he's going to the pen. I don't think he's going to the bullpen.
I never think that. Cautiously build up for the World Series run.
That's the best reply I've seen.
That's got to be it.
Like dead on.
I use him as a closer. Todd.
Nah, forget it, Todd. Not happening.
In the postseason, because he wants to do that. He's either ready or he isn't. But with their pitching depth, the bullpen, I guess he'd likely be treated with kid gloves, especially early. It possibly ramps up more towards the end of the year. But early on, might be 5 to 6 innings. Yeah, Don, I think you're right. I
think the one thing everybody's missing here, too, as you can read another one.
He should start, throw 5 to 6 innings, then play outfield for a couple innings, come back to claws again. Come on.
Yeah, that's a good. That's nice. That's nice. No, I think the one thing here, we keep saying Shohei will decide, but at the end of the day, Mark Walter will decide because he's got 9 more years of a contract. The Dodgers are not rushing Shohei out there. And part of the reason this guy is the attraction he is, because we all can't wait to see him pitch again.
I know.
And they're going to make sure. And if he didn't pitch this year, would you have a problem with it?
I would, yeah.
He's got 8 more years.
Yeah, I would.
Oh, I wouldn't.
They're ready to win the championship now, and you can't take that for granted. Remember when the Cubs won the World Series? It was the beginning of a dynasty. Never saw them in the World Series again.
I think
you
Shohei
have to
pitches
take
this year.
advantage of the Dodgers in their prime. They're all in their prime. That window doesn't stay open forever.
Oh, they're
今日の山本選手はオリックス時代に猛威を振るっていた時のようでしたね。今シーズンは安定感がありますね。エースと言ってもいいでしょう。そして大谷選手の投手復帰はどのような形になるのか、かなり注目されていますね。調整の仕方は難しいなど思うので注目するところなのでしょう。いつ復帰するのかは楽しみですね。本日もご視聴ありがとうございました。チャンネル登録、高評価よろしくお願いいたします。